Hello, good day. Today we will be discussing about geolocation in React Native. So, here's an example of geolocation. We are currently using an Android emulator. Okay, so let's begin. First, we have to open Command Prompt. So, let's now open Command Prompt. So, here it is. Then, let's change to our directory, or work directory. Then, okay, now let's create a new React Native project. So, to do that, let's type expo init. Then, let's enter our project name. So, in this case, it's ita213 underscore our last name. Then, let's name it geolocation. Then, select a block template and wait for the installation to finish. So, while waiting, first close the extended controls and close our projects. So once our project has been created, let's now change to that directory. 13. Then let's now open the project in Visual Studio Code. For this project, we will be using the React Native Maps library. So just open Expo, then look for map view. First, we need to install the React Native Maps library. So let's copy this one. And take note that this is only compatible with an Android device, Android emulator, an iOS device, and an iOS simulator. This is not supported in web. So for the testing, we will be using an Android emulator since we are not using an iMac. So we cannot test it on an iOS simulator. But if you have an iOS device, we can test that on an iOS device. So let's now install the React Native Maps library. Copy this one, then go back to our project, click Terminal and New Terminal. Then paste that here and press Enter. And let's now wait for the library to be installed. So once it is installed, let's go back to the documentation. So here's a sample usage. Let's copy that one and open app.js, paste the code, save. Then let's start the project. Just type npm start. Let's wait for the Expo Developer tool to start, or the Metro Bundler. Okay. Okay, then let's now run this on an Android emulator. So just click that one and make sure that you already have your emulator running. So this is now map view, but it first display a region in Africa. So let's now go back to the documentation. Oops, sorry. Okay, here at the top, it says that we can see the full documentation here. So let's click that link. Okay, here's the official documentation. So as you can see, the React Native Maps library contains different component APIs such as the map view, which you have already included. Then a marker, callout, polygon, polyline, circle, overlay, heatmap, GeoJSON. So in map view, we can add an initial region which should contain a latitude, a longitude, a latitude delta, and a longitude delta. So basically, this is just the view of the map. So let's copy this one and paste that right here. Okay, save. Let's take a look. So here it is. Let's change the location to our beloved institution. It's 13.406, and the longitude is 123.375, and save. Okay, what happened? Unexpected token. I've already refreshed. Okay, let's change the delta so that it will be zoomed in. Click the emulator, press RR. Okay, let's change this to 005. Okay, save. And refresh again. Press RR. Okay, it's zoomed in too much. Save it again. Okay. So this is our initial region. First, let's go back to the documentation. Here we can also add a marker on the map. So let's open the documentation for the marker. Okay, then it accepts different props such as title, description, image, icon, pin color, coordinate, center offset, and so on and so forth. So let's add a marker in our map view. So to do that, we have to, okay, let's zoom in, close the map view like this one. Okay, then let's add the marker. So the marker should also be closed. Okay. Okay, the marker is asking for a position. Lat longitude cannot be null, so position should be in the prop coordinate. So add prop coordinate, then add the latitude and longitude. Let's just copy this one, save, and let's reload. Okay, we now have, oops, sorry. We now have the pin of pin in CSPC. So this is our initial pin, and we can also add a title and a description. So let's try that one here. Title, test title, and description, test description. Save that, and okay, here just click the marker, and we can see here that it now shows the title and the description. And we can also add a pin color. So let's add the pin color. For Android, the set of available color is limited, and unsupported colors will fall back to red. So let's see this issue. And Android only supports these colors. So let's try a gold one. Color to gold. Save. Let's refresh that manually. Now the marker color is red. We can also add, let's go back to the documentation. We can also add a call out. So here, let's try adding a call out. So inside the marker, let's add a call out. Okay. Then let's add the text. This is a call out. So make sure that when you add the different components from React Native Maps, make sure that it is automatically imported. So here we have added a marker, so it's imported, and a callout. So here. Okay, let's now refresh the project. So as you can see, when we click the marker, we now override the title and the description props of the marker. So we can now remove this one. Okay. So that's just it. And let's go back to the documentation. So here we can add different shapes, such as a polygon, a polyline, circle, an overlay. Here, let's try adding a circle. So outside the callout, let's show the okay. Here we can add a circle. So circle. Okay. Then again, you can see that it is automatically imported. Oh, there's an error. It should be outside the marker. Okay, no error anymore. And let's take a look at the documentation. Here, the circle component accepts different props such as the center, which should accept a latitude and longitude, radius, stroke width, stroke color, fill color, etc. And now let's add the center. So it should be a coordinate, the coordinate of the center of the circle. So make this a little smaller. Let's add the center. Then let's also add the latitude and longitude of CSPC. Then it's still not showing because we have to add a radius. So these two props are required. So the value should be in meters. So let's now add the radius. Set it to 100 meters. Okay, refreshing. Still not showing. Try refreshing manually. Okay, this is now the circle component. And you can also add stroke width, stroke color, and etc. Now, this marker can be dragged by just long pressing it. Oh no, it cannot be dragged, but it can be. So let's go back to the marker documentation. Let's drag. Oh, here. We have to set the draggable to true because by default, it doesn't contain a value. So let's set the marker. Let's add the prop in the marker, draggable. Let's set that to true. Save, and let's try it. When you long press the marker, long press the marker, then we can already drag the marker. But as you can see, the circle doesn't follow because it has a fixed longitude and latitude. So for that, we need to here. Let's check the events. So the marker component accepts different events such as this one. Here it accepts on drag start and on drag end. On drag. So we need these two. It returns a coordinate in latitude and longitude. So when the user drag our marker, we need to know the current latitude and longitude of the marker so that we can also change the latitude and longitude of the circle. So let's now add the first let's add the on drag event. So here inside the marker, let's add that event. So on drag start. The event should be like this event. Then that one. Okay, let's print that in the console. So drag start and print the event. Event E. So it's this one. Then the native event. Save. Okay, let's manually refresh RR because it's showing errors. And now it's not anymore. So here, as you can see, when we start dragging, it is displaying the latitude and the longitude. So we just need the coordinate. So this one, coordinate, so that it will only show the latitude and the longitude. Okay, let's try. Okay, now it's just showing the latitude and the longitude. And another event is the on drag end, so that when we let go of the marker, we will know the latitude and the longitude. So let's just copy this one and change this one to on drag end. Okay, save. And then let's try. Then when we let go of the marker, as you can see, it shows the latitude and the longitude of the marker. But we have to also change the latitude and longitude of the circle. So for this one, we need to use a state. So let's add a state, constant, and let's name it pin. Then set pin, and use state. The current value is, no, the default value is the latitude and longitude of CSPC. So here we have added a React, then use state, because we have imported all as React from the React library. Okay, then we, then when the user let go of the marker, we have to set the pin, the value of the pin. So set pin. Okay, the latitude and the longitude. The value should be from the event. So let's refresh this so that we can see. Okay, then let's try. So after I let go, we will get the latitude and the longitude from the event. So copy this one, then that, and the value. Latitude, copy that one again, and the longitude. Save. Okay, let's manually refresh because it shows an error. Okay. Okay, it's still not following because we have just set the value of pin to the current longitude and latitude of the marker. So we will be using this variable pin in here in the circle. So instead of a static value, we add a dynamic value. So here, as you can see, it already the circle is also changing based from the position of the marker. So now instead of manually moving the marker, we will now get the current location of the user or the device. For this one, we will be using expo location. So let's search for native expo location. Sorry, it's really slow. Okay, here. Okay, first we have to install the expo location library. So let's copy that one. And first we have to stop the Metro bundler. So okay, once the server has stopped, we can now install expo location library. Okay, now stop. Let's clear that. Install expo location. Okay, wait for the installation to finish. Okay, installation has now finished. Let's start the Metro bundler again by typing npm start. Okay, it has opened a new developer tool. Okay, then let's run this again on the emulator. Okay, ADB not found. Let's manually. Okay, let's close this and open ExpoGo And let's reopen our recently opened project. So it's now building. Okay. So once we have installed Expo location, okay, let's go back to the documentation. So here we have to use an effect, okay, use effect, so that we can request a foreground permission from the user and get the current position. So let's just copy this one. Use effect. We need the use effect method here, but it will show an error because we have imported all as React. So let's add React dot use effect. Save. Okay, what's this error? Can't variable location. Okay, and we have to import again the Expo location library. Save. Okay, let's wait. Let's manually refresh. Oh, there's again an error. These are components. Okay. Let's first allow the permission. Okay, there is still an error. Can't find variable set location. So this one, let's just print the location in the console and the error message also in the console. So save. So here, as you can see, we now have our current location. Okay, then once we have, we don't actually need this one, but let's change the pin to the current location. So set pin. Oops, let's comment that first so that we can see the result. So it's in coords. So location dot coords dot, then inside coords we need the latitude and the longitude. Let's change this and comment save. Okay, we have set the circle but not the marker, and because the marker has a static value, so let's also change this to pin. Okay, it now follows. So this is our current location, but for the emulator we can change that. Just click the kebab to show the extended controls, and here in the location tab we can set the location. And it didn't follow. You have to refresh manually because it did not follow. Oh, it's so slow, sorry. Okay, let's use some of the methods in the map view. So let's go back to here, the map view documentation. So inside map view, it supports different props. So here, so we can also show the user location. So let's copy this one, and in the map view, let's add the show user location map. Set that to true. So as you can see, the location of the user is being displayed now. So, but the problem is with the expo location, we also set the pin to the current location, but it seems that it's having a problem getting the actual location. So even if we refresh, it's getting, but it's really slow. So let's set the location, manually refresh, because we only this one is only run on the first run. So the value is being set on the first run. But if you want the marker to change along with the current location, we can also use another prop here in from the marker. Let's look for it. It's Uh, where is it? Oh, it's in the event. Sorry. So here in the event, it has here the on user location change. So when the location of the user change, the marker should also change. So instead of manually refreshing that, the application, we can change the marker based from our current location. So here in the map view component, let's add the on user location change event. So just below this, location event and event. Okay, let's print that first, console.log. And on user location change, let's print the native event. So this is that event. So on user location, let's try changing the location. So as you can see on the console, the latitude and the longitude is also changing. So but we only need the latitude and the longitude. Then it is inside the coordinate object. So e.native event dot coordinate. Then we can now access the latitude and the longitude directly. So let's set the pin. Let's copy this one, paste that inside the event. But instead of the location from the expo location, we get the latitude and the longitude or the coordinate from this native event or the on user location change event. So that latitude and the native event that longitude. So this is it now. Let's now try setting the location and the marker and the circle follows. So that's it. This is geolocation using React Native.